is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Yo, happy Wednesday. It is the Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. Just a couple minutes late. Sheila Williams, former head girls track coach, and she coached basketball and volleyball. I mean, she was just a great coach at Helena High and Shelby. But she'll join us coming up here on the Jason Walker Show. And it is That's What She Said Wednesday, brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. So make sure you stick around because we got just a lot of great stuff. Kind of flustered because we're just getting back into the swing of things on today and running a little late, but we're having a good time. That's, you're watching live on Facebook, YouTube, also on Twitter through Periscope. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, Treasure State Radio, and go to jasonwalkershow.com for anything else. Got a lot of great response on our interview yesterday with Allie Whaley, the wonderful young lady from Great Britain who joined us, and hopefully she can get into Canada. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping. Make sure you go to alicewhaley.com to follow her travels across the globe as she breaks into equestrian travel writing. But Sheila Williams will join us coming up here on this day in history. A whole lot more coming up on a Wednesday. Tomorrow, I think we're going to talk storm chasing, weather storm chasing. That should be a fun topic. And next week, Nick McCarville will be back on, friend of the show. We'll be talking about the U.S. Open tennis, which announced today, I believe, that it will play in August and September in New York with no fans. It's going to be weird. Like, I don't think we'd miss fans at Wimbledon, but I think we're going to miss fans at the U.S. Open. Like, the U.S. Open in New York and the Australian Open down in Melbourne are my two favorite majors in tennis in part because of the crowds. You think back to, was it 1991, Jimmy Connors, kind of his last run, but he's playing the late night in New York, and it's after midnight Montana time, or New York, and almost, 1 o'clock in New York, 11 here, whatever. It's late. And the crowd just getting all pumped up and fired up, and it's going to be different. Now, I know there's no sound when they're playing during the actual point, but to have that crowd, the players get into it, and the players feed off that crowd energy, whether they're for you or against you. So we'll talk to Nick McCarville next week about that, because it'll be interesting. I think you could play French. You could play Wimbledon, especially Wimbledon. Would you know if there's fans or not? I don't think so. But there will be no Wimbledon, but there will be a U.S. Open. And we'll talk to Nick next week. All right. So today, more cancel culture stuff. And UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, got rid of its mascot. They removed the Hey Reb statue in front of the Alumni Center. They removed it last night, gave it back to its donors. The Rebel mascot, UNLV, dates back to the school's origin in the mid-50s, 1950s. And it was the extension campus of University of Nevada at Reno. The students and administrators drew the idea from Rebels from a natural rivalry that accompanied the split that would become UNLV and UNR. Originally, the mascot was Beauregard, a cartoon wolf with a Confederate uniform, to, quote, rebel against Nevada Reno and its Wolfpack mascot in the North, end quote. Now, they changed that in 1976. Got away from it. That's great. But then they went back to they stuck with the old Reb and the Rebels mascot. A Change.org petition, as of this morning, had more than 4,000 signatures to completely change the Rebels mascot. Change the name, change everything. The petition said, in part, the Rebel is racist, rooted in a Confederate mythology which has no place on the campus. So there's that. The University of Virginia also changing its logo. It's got swords or sabers. And they're changing the logo because people are upset. So here's the thing. And I understand a lot, okay? But, and it goes back to the cancel culture that we talked about yesterday. You're going to get rid of, so Mississippi State's going to have to, or Ole Miss is going to have to change its name, the Rebels of Ole Miss, including its mascot. There's a lot of schools in the South that are going to have to change their names or their mascots. Not everything is racial. Aunt Jemima no longer will exist. The pancake and syrup, gone. Uncle Ben's, gone. They're changing the logos, they're changing the names, they're changing everything. And it is a little on the upsetting side because you're essentially getting rid of history. You know, and again, it goes back to the cancel culture, and started this week with Mike Gundy wearing an OAN network shirt, and then his forced apology and all of that. But literally everybody is offended by something nowadays. Somebody out there right now is offended by something that I'm talking about, or something that I've said in the past, or in the future. This isn't all politics, folks. It's just the way society is nowadays. Literally, everybody's going to be upset about something. And like I said yesterday, I'm offended by Grizzly logos. So we need to get rid of everything to do with the University of Montana, including their logo, their mascot, everything. Grizzlies offend me. I'm a Bobcat fan. See how dumb that sounds? You know, we're getting rid of statues. We're getting rid of historical pieces. And it's not even a Republican or Democratic thing anymore. It's just, it offends people. Like, if we're going to get rid of certain things here in the United States, statues, like Christopher Columbus, or, you know, Robert E. Lee, or whatever, do some fact checking behind everything. But, you know, we should demolish the Colosseum in Rome. Why? Built by Jewish slaves. That was bad. And I'm not being facetious about this. I'm being serious. The pyramids in Egypt, built by slaves. Demolish them. There will literally be nothing left in the world if we demolish everything that offends somebody. And that's where we're headed. It's a dangerous path that we're headed down. A lot of these schools, names, mascots, whether it's high school to the pros, aren't offensive or weren't brought into the world as being made offensive. Florida State Seminoles, people have been trying to get Florida State to change the name of the Seminoles. Except the Seminole tribe in Florida has said no. They're honored to be represented by Florida State. You know, I get some things. The Chief Wahoo Indian mascot for Cleveland Indians. Yeah, it was a little offensive. Change it. And they did. You know, people still harping on the Washington Redskins. There's talk show hosts that won't call them, they call them the Washington football team. They won't say Redskins. There's actual Native American tribes that support the Washington Redskins. And that's just, it's here in Montana, you know, we have Native American mascot names because Montana's rich in Native American history. And, you know, I lived in Box Elder for 2 years. I went to school in Box Elder for 2 years, right next to the Rocky Boy Reservation, 2nd and 3rd grade, and had a great time. Had some great fun, and great friends were made. To this day, we're still friends. I didn't see race. They were just schoolmates. Kids I competed with in sports and had fun with. Kids that we went and picked crab apples off trees. It's just, if we get rid of everything that offends somebody, we're going to have nothing left. Literally nothing left. Just think about that. This cancel culture, everybody's going to get mad about something. We saw it here in Helena a few years ago. But think for yourself, make your own decisions, and be smart, and get along with people. If you want to weigh in on this topic, or anything here, you can email jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. You can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can text, call, whatever. Get involved. So be a part of the solution. Don't be part of the problem. And UNLV should keep its name. Grizzlies fans sitting there going, I'm offended by, you know, the helmet you have. Can we get it on camera? No, but there's a Montana State volleyball ball, and there's the Montana State football helmet. I don't have anything Grizzly in here. I'm not a Grizz fan. I never have been. But I'm not to the point where I'm like, okay, we need to just, I'm offended by Missoula. Let's get rid of the town. Let's get rid of the university. Let's get rid of anything related to the Grizz. That's how cancel culture sounds dumb. And Grizz fan can say the same thing about Bobcats. There's Grizz fans that watch this show, that are fans of the Jason Walker Show, and give me a hard time about the Bobcat helmet or my Bobcat jersey or my Bobcat pictures. But you know what? It's in good fun. There's people that root for Montana Tech that can give me a hard time about the Carroll photos. It's fine. But nobody's wanting to burn down Jason Walker's, Major Mortgage man cave. At least I hope not. It's in my house. I live here. Anyway, you can weigh in anytime you want. Tweet, Facebook, text, call, anything. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to check in with the former, sounds so weird to say, the former track coach for the girls at Helena High. Sheila Williams will join us in the Major Mortgage Man Cave next here on the Jason Walker Show.
Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Dinner's Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, Dinner's Done Right's Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Wednesday. Major Mortgage Man Cave, Jason Walker Show. Brought to you in part by Ruckers Furniture. And this segment is brought to you by Ruckers Furniture. 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Make the quality choice for your home. Great savings going on this month at Ruckers Furniture. On this day in history coming up, the walk-off and more. So I moved up here from Bozeman in 2013, and my first year covering track was 2014, and that is when I first got to know Sheila Williams. Great head coach, a great lady, great teacher for a long time at Helena High. Just announced her retirement, and That's What She Said Wednesday. So That's What She Said is brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. And make sure you stop by Dinner's Done Right. Get the grab and go camping bundle. It includes the 4 to 6 serving size of the Calbee beef flank steak, grilled Asian chicken, fiesta burgers, 6 s'mores hand pies, all in a Dinner's Done Right tote bag for $95. Great for the weekend. And That's What She Said is Coach Sheila Williams joins us now in the Major Mortgage Man Cave on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline.
A bummer.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Did COVID-19 and the lack of a spring this year, did that play into your decision at all?
No, not really. We had to make a decision early on this fall whether or not we were going to. We, meaning the teachers in the district, we're going to retire. So I knew going into this fall that this spring would probably, be the last spring. So it really didn't play into it. But.
17 years as track coach. Lots of great memories, I'm sure. Anything that really stands out? Because I want to talk about all the positives that you had as a coach.
Oh, okay. Well, there were a lot of amazing performances by the athletes that we had. I mean, we've been really blessed with the athletes that we have had at Helena High, both male and female. And we had a string of really good pole vaulters, and so there was a lot of years where we had a state champion, and that goes back to Doug LeBrun starting. I remember the very first year that girls did vault, and that was Shannon Agee. So that she was an exceptional. She was just all around athlete. I remember coaching triple jump and fighting with Doug, because we always joked that we had a pole vault team and then we had a track team. But so we would just, fight tooth and nail to try to get these kids to see them. So that was pretty awesome to be able to see her compete and do the things that she had done. And then you go through different, eras with your Whitney Hasemans and Allison Morrisons and obviously Carly Smedella and Camden, and both my girls, I was able to coach them. So that was a lot of fun. And then just most recently with Odessa and Kylie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're going to make some noise next year. So, yeah.
Special talents, those two, and the ones you just named. I mean, and the list goes on and on. There's girls that, you've probably, there's too many to name.
Right.
And if you miss somebody, you're going to upset somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what, yeah. It is hard because I'm just sitting here thinking about, Anna Brooks, which, she was, that's another one that she has a record, but unfortunately you have to set a state record during state track.
And you were lucky too, because I just since I started covering in 2013, the throwers, Shanna Florishinger, and then you get, Jamie Pickens, what a great athlete. She decides her senior year, you know what, I'm going to give up softball, I'm going to go out for track and decide to place at state.
Well, darn Jamie, we were excited. it was, I know Ryan Schulte was pretty disappointed when she didn't play softball, but, you know, I was like, so initially she wasn't going to throw jabs. So she was messing around with shot and disc. And I said, you know how hard it is to learn 3 specialty, you know, events like that in 1 year? And she ended up going to Great Falls. And after she didn't do very well in the discus, I said, okay, are you ready now? Are you ready to come throw jab? So I think if I would have had just maybe 1 or 2 more weeks with her, she actually threw a warm-up throw at state that would have won. But
Oh, jeez.
just what she was able to do in that shorter period of time, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Unbelievable talents, like I said. Former Helena High girls track coach Sheila Williams joining us here, Jason Walker Show, in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. I said this on the show the other day, with your retirement now and Coach Paul's retirement, Shirley Chesterfield Stanton a couple years ago, we've lost some fantastic coaches. Right. And it's, you know, the end of an era is coming. I think Coach Carter's over at Capitals. He's still the longest tenure, but he's the only one still going.
Right. I've just been really fortunate. I mean, I'm a product of Title IX. And so when I first started competing at Belgrade High School a long time ago, and then was able to compete in college. So it kind of concerns us is that, you know, really wanting to continue having women involved and being able to be in that position of leadership. And not that men can't do it and don't do a great job. I mean, look what Eric's done the last, you know, few years with the girls. But I just think it's really important to continue to have women involved and in those positions of leadership. Especially, I think, as role models and just trying to get, you know, more girls involved in that aspect. It's tough, you know, especially if you're going to, you know, have a family or whatever. It takes a lot of time. But, you know, hopefully, you know, Lindsay's kind of the lone dog right now. And so just trying to encourage more of that.
You bring up Title IX, and I'm a huge Title IX supporter, and I think what it's done for sports in general is so positive, especially with younger women, because it's given them the chance, like you said yourself, a chance to compete. Where would we be without Title IX?
It would have taken a lot longer. You know, I just think about when I started. I think eventually, you know, things would have changed, but it wouldn't have been as timely as it was then. And so, you know, thank goodness for that, and thank goodness for people who have really, you know, poured their heart and soul into promoting athletics for women. I mean, I just think of the opportunities that, you know, my daughters have had, as well as other girls, to go on and get their degrees and do some amazing things.
Sheila Williams joining us here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Just great, like I said, moments. Is there anything that really stands out to you over the 17 years at Helena High, whether it was a state champ or, you know, somebody who gave it their all and didn't win a state championship?
Well, the first name that comes to my mind on that was Carly Smidala. And her freshman year, we were in Bozeman, and we had a competitive team that year, and she lost by, I think, 1,000th of a second in that 400 race when she falls and loses that race. She just was competing in an era where it was just unbelievable talent. I mean, I think one of the things that I've seen change over the years, I was just thinking about this as a coach, is that track before, you know, you just encourage kids to come out for track almost to get in shape for their other, you know, events. I think Montana, for our size and weather and whatever, we've had some amazing track athletes, and I mean just pure track athletes. I think I've seen that change over the last handful of years, and I think it has to do with some clubs forming and kids being able to compete, doing some indoor things, which I kind of deviated a little bit, but so Carly, I think what she did over those 4 years, and finally her senior year, she was able to win that 400. I mean, she had won and been in races before where she broke the state record and finished second.
Wow.
I mean, how often does that happen?
Not very. I never have a state record, so I can't remember the last time I even tried to run a 400. So Sheila Williams joining us here on the Jason Walker Show. You mentioned kids that just come out for track to have, hang out with their friends and whatnot, but there's got to be some kids that stand out as giving their all, and they never were going to place. They were never really going to compete at state, but they work their tails off. Do those mean as much to you as the state champions?
Oh, definitely. I think, coaching as long as I did in terms of both basketball and volleyball, one of the things I always dreaded was having to cut kids from your team. And so being in the track program, I think that was one of the things that's really special, because there was a place for everybody. It didn't matter what your talent was. Track's not an easy thing to do. And so to try to convince kids to come out and go, okay, we're going to run a couple miles and we're going to do whatever, you really have to make it fun. And I think that was one of the things that we really tried to impress, is like, we want this to be a team, and that they really feel a part of this team, because some kids, that was the only team that they were on.
Right.
And so to see the accomplishment and kids just being so excited about getting a letter and hitting that mark, or completing a 1600 and feeling really good about themselves, that's one thing that I really enjoy about track. And that feeling of accomplishment that they have.
Do you have any regrets? Anything that you missed out on? As a coach, not like as...
Right. No, I don't think so, other than the spring. I mean, that was really disappointing. We kind of held out hope that we got our first week of practice in, official week, and then that's when everything shut down, especially knowing that this was, probably going to be my last spring. So other than that, I guess if I thought long and hard enough, maybe, but...
So no.
No.
Okay, that's a good answer. I mentioned Coach Chesterfield Stanton a little bit earlier, and I read the article from Kurt Sinnes. I know she meant a lot to you as a mentor. I don't know who was funnier, though. You or her doing interviews, because I don't think either one of you really like to do interviews. And yet here you are. I think she liked to talk a little bit more, though.
Yeah. Shirley was, both Shirley and Linda Paul, both really good friends of mine. And obviously, I learned a lot from both of them. Again, two ladies that just poured their heart and soul into doing what they loved to do, and really cared a lot about kids. And I think always had the right perspective and motivation. It wasn't about them. It was about the kids. And I think that's what's really important about, when you have your program, and just knowing that you're doing it for the betterment of them.
Did you ever look at Capital as a rival and talk to Shirley about, they might have the sprinters this year, you've got the field athletes. If we could just combine the schools, we'd dominate here.
Yeah, it was, Crosstown was always a lot of fun, and you just never knew. I mean, track really isn't any different than Crosstown and any other, event that you have. So, but we always, I think both programs always really respected each other, and it wasn't antagonistic or, so that was good too. I mean, you put it on the line and you went for it, but You always respected each other at the end of the meet.
Was Crosstown your favorite time? Or was it state, or was it, what was your favorite meets?
I think Crosstown was fun. It was stressful. I mean, because you wanted to do well. State was fun because by that time, you've done what you can, and so you're just hoping that the kids are healthy going into state, and especially the way that we do it in Montana, depending on who you were with. AA or A, B, C. Those were always fun meets. The other meet that I really enjoyed that was fun was the Electric City Classic, because everyone was there. And really it was bigger than a state meet, because everybody got to put 4 kids in each event. And those were some pretty incredible performances there.
We mentioned Title IX and the growth of women's athletics. What else would you like to see in your retirement with women's sports and girls in athletics?
I think the one thing that is a little bit worrisome, but I think that we've been pretty fortunate in Montana right now. I know my girls have coached out of state, and high school programs are not what they are in Montana. So that's concerning, just with the arrival of AAU and club and things like that. So I'm really hoping that we can maintain that here, that your high school team isn't just your high school team. It's not that way everywhere. It's more of what club team that you play for. So I'm just hoping that in terms of female athletes, that we continue to see this growth, and that they have those opportunities that they have now, with budget cuts and with funding and all that. That's always a worry. I mean, we're pretty fortunate now. Like, we still have 4 teams. I don't know how long that'll last, that we have freshman, sophomore, JV, varsity, because I know already a lot of AA schools don't have that. So it discourages girls from going out, because they was like, why should I do that?
Right.
So that's always a concern. So hopefully we can maintain that, and have those opportunities.
All right. Favorite track to go to? Because I know it's not Vigilante, because it needs a lot of work.
Favorite track. I tell you what, last year, what they've done at the facility in Kalispell, it's beautiful. The way they have everything set up, and the jump pits and the throwing, and that was a lot of fun last year. Great Falls too.
Yep.
I mean, that's a great stadium, even though they only have the 8 lanes and then the 10 lanes down the stretch. Still, that's a great facility. We just never went to Billings, and they just don't have that. I mean, they have the one facility, but
Well, and Laurel is the place they go now.
I know, and we never ever got to compete there. I mean, I've heard some pretty amazing things about that. And actually now Missoula, they've redone their track too. And we were supposed to be there this spring, but...
well, Helen was supposed to have the state meet, but like I said, Vigilante needs a lot of work. Is that something you can help lead now in retirement?
I would love to. I mean... And Jason, to be honest with you, I don't know if we can still. I mean, we need a new facility. I don't know if we can have it in the place that it is right now and make it work. It's just too small. There's, in terms of throwing and being able to have those and give them. I mean, there's been times where we've had some awesome javelin throwers in the state, and we've had to reconfigure the runway because there's just not even enough room for really good javelin throwers there. So Yeah, I think the Helena community needs to get behind that and just, really push for a new facility, because it's a shame when you can't have a state meet, because that helps everybody.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm on your side on that one. Sheila Williams, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, favorite event to coach? I guess it depends on the year and the team.
It does. I kind of, it's between two. I mean, I'm kind of an anomaly because I, coached long and triple and then javelin. And so I literally was running back and forth. I don't think anyone does that, but I love the jab because I threw the jab. But I've had some really good jumpers as well. And this last year, triple jump was just, oh my goodness, those kids from Sentinel. And I mean, the state was just loaded with, it's that same motion. And we always said it's not really a throw, it's a pull. So if you're throwing it right, then it's more of a smooth motion pull over the top of your head. If you're throwing it like a softball, that doesn't work. So,
see, I was a baseball player, so maybe that was my problem. I'm trying to, throw a little sidearm. Yeah. Plus, I'm short. The javelin is long, and my feet. I'd stab it into the ground.
It takes a while. It really does. And so when I was coaching Carlson Kendall, I remember Kendall would say, "Mom, would you just please not say so many things?" And, just like, and if we could end up, coming out of a practice not fighting, then that was a good thing. But yeah, it's a pretty complicated event. But
well, I know you got to coach your daughters, but you're a mom to so many over the last 17 years. What's the outpouring been like over the last week?
Oh, it's just been really fun. I mean, just to connect. In fact, I got a message from one of my former athletes at Shelby as well. So, I think coaching and those relationships and those bonds that you have, and now social media kind of lends itself to reconnecting a little bit easier than it used to be. So they'll see things and say something online. But that's what I'm going to miss. I mean, both teaching and coaching, is that those relationships. This spring was just a killer. I mean, and I know the kids would say that too. Just not being able to see each other, even if it was zero period at 7:20 in the morning. But it is those relationships and those bonds that you have, because you go through good times and bad, highs and lows, and even the crazy bus rides that you have. Those are the things you remember.
All right. How strict were you on bus trips? Did you allow movies and stuff like that? Or, well, you had the old buses, so you didn't even have that.
Depends on what bus you had. I mean, Jason, we've gone through, when I first came, we had the beautiful, buses that we were riding on. And then because of budgetary constraints, we weren't on those buses anymore. And so it depended on the bus. We had to be careful on what they watched in terms of that. But yeah.
You just let them have fun.
Yeah.
What are the plans in retirement? Traveling, outdoors?
Yeah, hopefully. I have a daughter who's both in Kendall's in San Diego, and Kelsey's now just north of Seattle. So we'd love to go. It's just right now, it's just crazy with this whole COVID stuff. So that's the plan. We'd like to do that. We have Bobcat season tickets, so hopefully that'll work out this fall.
Good. So that helmet right next to you is actually really good.
I know, go Cats. So, hopefully we'll be able to go see some games, but yeah.
We're going to have a fall sports season?
So far, it looks like, I don't know. I think we're just kind of keeping fingers crossed. I know the kids were starting to work out and do some things this week already, and they were pretty excited about that. But I don't know what it'll look like in the gym. Who'll be able to come. I was hoping, can you believe this? This is our 10th anniversary from our first state championship for volleyball. So I was wanting to get everyone back together, this fall. So we'll see what that looks like.
I think I was doing PA in Bozeman, state AA basketball. And it would have been, I guess, Kendall was making her decision at the state tournament, whether it was going to be volleyball or basketball.
Right.
And I think I talked to her, and I may have chatted with you about it, but that was a tough decision.
Yeah, no, it was. It was, I think now she feels good about it, but yeah, just trying to figure out what she was going to do.
That's got to be tough being so good in multiple sports that you have to make a decision. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I get to make a decision on whether I talk or not.
Yeah.
All right, so San Diego, Seattle. San Diego's better to visit because it's just always warm there.
Yeah, we were able to go in February. And so this was before all this stuff was going on. And yeah, it's a beautiful area. Lots of fun things to do.
Of course, I've only been to the Seattle airport, so I can't really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my sister and brother-in-law, because they live there in Seattle too, and they have season tickets for the Husky games, so those are always fun. And then we'd always try to hit the Mariners, or
Sure.
I guess we're big sports. We like to go and
You
watch.
are a big sports fan.
Yeah.
Favorite sport other than the ones you've coached?
Oh, well, I think football.
Okay.
Yeah, we enjoy football.
Especially the last 4 years.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
In the state.
Oh man, I think this year Cat Grizz, that was so much fun.
Yeah. See, I used to do PA down there. So for a long time, I was the first down guy at Bobcat Stadium. I started in 96. I went through the 0-11 year with Coach Kramer. But yeah, you've seen a lot of highs and lows in that stadium. I've never been to a Cat Grizz game in Missoula. I've never set foot in that stadium.
I haven't either. And I know people would say, I hear it's really a fun venue to go to. But yeah, I haven't been there either. And of course this year with Danny, coming back and coaching the men, we went to a couple men's basketball games too. But so it's fun to see him and what he's doing with that program.
He's a pretty cool dude.
He's a great guy.
Love Danny Sprinkle. He's he and I go way back to his freshman year. So at MSU.
Well, I worked with Bill for a long time, so Bill Sprinkle and I.
Mr. Sprinkle's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah.
I see him on the golf course all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does now.
Yeah,
him and Coach Turcotte are out there golfing all the time now.
Yeah. Well, he was a Husky. So in fact, I ran into him at SeaTac. I think it was maybe this year, and he was headed for a reunion, I think, with some of his guys there.
Other than women's coaches, what other guys coaches that you've worked with stand out?
I would say Tony.
Yeah.
Tony and I worked really closely together, and he just was a real promoter of female athletics. And I think he and I probably worked the closest together. And Jason. Of course, Jason Mergel coached my girls.
Right.
And then my room was right next door to Ryan Schulte. So, yeah.
So you heard a little bit of everything.
Guys.
Yeah. Oh, great guys. Absolutely.
Great guys.
Great coaches for sure. All right. Are you gonna pull a Mike Van Diest and spend a year out and then go coach at a college somewhere? You're not saying no.
Yeah, no. At this point, no.
What if Montana State called and said, "Hey, we just want you to be an assistant and help out with our jab throwers"?
Oh wow, well, that might be fun.
So she's not saying no.
Yeah.
She's not. I like that.
Yeah, not yet.
Hey, I said this the other day, and I mean it. And it's been, I met you, I think, in 2014, would have been my first year covering track after moving up here the year before. But always enjoyed our chats and your brutal honesty at times. And I loved it. And it was refreshing. And I don't want to say old school, but that's the way it was. It was, you didn't sugarcoat anything. And I love that about you. And our interviews were always special, and I always enjoyed it. And I'm going to miss you.
Oh, well, thanks, Jason. I'm going to miss it a lot, too, and I appreciate that.
Sheila Williams joining us in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Yep, she's going to be great. In retirement, she's going to be great. She was so much fun. So we taped that, and then today, and we ended up talking even more. Like, I could talk to Coach Williams for a very long time. If you want to catch that interview again in its entirety, JasonWalkerShow.com. Coming up after the show, we'll have it up there also on the Facebook page and much, much more. Take a break. This last segment came courtesy of Rucker's Furniture. When we return on this day in history, and a whole lot more still to come here on the Jason Walker Show.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Dinner's Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of the Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Check them out, marklaroephotography.com. If you book a senior portrait package or a family portrait package or anything, you'll get a free 8x10 canvas or matte print by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. Also, if you purchase one of Mark's fantastic photos, you'll get 20% off by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. Live Look Earth Cam, Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty. Yeah, a live look. Can we zoom in there? I like that. Jason Walker Show, back Major Mortgage Man Cave. So Sacramento State quarterback Kevin Thompson, who entered the transfer portal. Oh, I just saw somebody won an award in Montana. Wow. Wow.
That'll change. Anyway, Kevin Thompson, it was at Sacramento State 2019. Big Sky Conference Offensive Player of the Year is transferring to Washington for his seventh and final season of eligibility. We don't know if there's going to be a season. We don't know if California schools are going to be playing, although they're trying to find a way to play. If you read the story on 406mtsports.com, remember, was it last month, the Cal State University system came out, which includes Sacramento State and Cal Poly, came out and said there would be no, their campuses would be closed in the fall to online learning. Well, now they're saying not all online learning. So therefore, they're trying to figure out how to play sports, basically, is what it amounts to. But Kevin Thompson transferred. He's going to Washington, his 7th year. So this dude, how many degrees does he have? I know he's had a medical. I know he's redshirted. But 7 years? Like, you could be a doctor by now. He's going to Washington, where he's going to attempt to play quarterback there. He's good enough. But you got to get other people out. So, interesting. Major League Baseball has come out and said they have a new offer to the Players Association. 60 games, the full prorated pay, even if games are played without fans in the ballpark. It's a little bit different than where we were a couple of days ago, when it looked like we weren't going to have a season at all. So we still might get Major League Baseball. We're not going to have the minors. So just, that's pipe dream. Pioneer League's never going to exist again. Sorry. But there you go. Let's see, what else? I can't wait to watch that video. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a 60-game season this year for the Cops. Or for the, wow, just was reading something. Stay focused here. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by our good friends at the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino and Restaurant. Make sure you stop in. The Motherlode Burger is fantastic. Today is June the 17th. It is National Eat Your Vegetables Day. It is Garbage Man Day, National Apple Strudel Day, and Cherry Tart Day. I should have asked Coach Williams which she prefers. 1837, Charles Goodyear got his first rubber patent. 1880, the Providence Grays pitcher John Ward throws a perfect game, the second perfect game in the National League in 6 days in 1880. The next one took 84 years in the National League. 1901, the U.S. Men's Golf Open. Willie Anderson of Scotland won the first of his 4 Open titles in an 18-hole playoff. Rocky Marciano beat Ezzard Charles by unanimous decision in Yankee Stadium in 1954. 1960, Ted Williams hit his 500th career home run, finished with 541. Greatest hitter of all time. 1962, Jack Nicklaus at the U.S. Open wins his first major by 3 strokes in a playoff with Arnold Palmer. 1994. Was it really on this date, 1994? O.J. Simpson becomes a fugitive of justice. Remember the car chase in the Ford Bronco? I remember watching the NBA Finals game on NBC split screened with the car chase. Unbelievable. Happy birthday today to Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. Fantastic football player. 1943, Barry Manilow was born. I write the songs. Barry Manilow always looked like Joe Montana to me. For a long time, I thought they were the same person. But Barry Manilow is like 77. 1965, Dan Jansen was born, the American speed skater. Won Olympic gold 3 different times. And a couple of heartbreaks in there as well. But that is what happened on this day in history. June the 17th. Brought to you by the Motherlode.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
I like this picture. Earth Cam. We're going to use more of this stuff. That's the Statue of Liberty. Was it yesterday she arrived in the country back in the day, 1800s? I think yesterday was the anniversary. All right, what did we learn today? Cancel culture is still a big deal. UNLV is going to change its mascot, the Rebels, which means that you're going to see a lot of changes. Ole Miss, the Rebels. I think Oklahoma State should change its name from the Cowboys. I mean, that's bad. That offends some people. I think the University of Montana should change its name. You see where we're going with this? It's ridiculous, people. This cancel culture. Aunt Jemima no longer exists. 131 years of history. Forget the history behind it. Not all bad, by the way. And Uncle Ben's announced today. It's not going to be Uncle Ben's rice anymore. They're going to change the face and the image and everything else. The walk-off is brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. Make sure you stop in at 625 Euclid, also in Bozeman and Billings, and have yourself some shrimp etouffee. That is my recommendation for dinner tonight from Cafe Zydeco, if you so choose to go there. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Give them a look, marklaroephotography.com. It is behind us. I'm going to see if... I can't use that camera. Let's try this one. Yep. That is sunrise over the Rocky Mountain front, directly behind us. We're going to switch out that portrait probably next week and put a new one up there. But if you want to buy that, go to marklaroephotography.com. Highly recommend it. All right, let's do... Special thanks, Sheila Williams, joining us. Had so much fun chatting with Coach over the years and today. If you missed anything, JasonWalkerShow.com. Tomorrow, we may be chatting storm chasing. There's a good chance of it. Hope you join us at 4. If you want to tune in, if you want to weigh in on anything, if you have an opinion, share it. You can email, you can Facebook, you can text, you can do whatever. Just let's have discussions. Civil. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Jason Walker Show. Major Mortgage Man Cave. JasonWalkerShow.com. We'll see you later.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.